Good evening, everybody. It's Lilius Armira, your holistic practitioner, once again checking in with you this evening. I wanted to talk to you about juicing tonight because juicing is so fundamentally important for our health. Everybody gets told to do it. It's been in vogue, it's come out of vogue, it's back in vogue again. It should never ever fall out of favour, and it should be part of your daily regime. So I just thought I'd give you a few pointers as to why it's so good for you and things that you can do with it. So you get told you need to have your 5 vegetables or fruit a day. 5 is not enough. Some people suggest you should have 6 or 8 servings. That's still not enough. But in order for you to get all the nourishment that you need, you're never going to be able to chomp your way through bowlfuls and huge platefuls of vegetables unless you have lots and lots of time on your hand. And this is where juicing is so incredible, because it takes an awful lot of vegetables and an awful lot of fruit to create a pint of juice. And when you consider the amount of nourishment that you're going to gain from that, it is extraordinary. So the nourishment that you're going to get from your pint of juice, if you can get a pint down you, that's amazing, is bioavailable. It is live, it is active, it's going to go straight into your bloodstream, which means that you can assimilate it really, really carefully. And the other thing is, because it hasn't got the bulk of the complete whole food, it's just got the juice and some fibre, really, really important for elimination purposes, then you don't have to go through the heavy energy of digesting the food. The assimilation of it goes straight into the bloodstream, and that is brilliant, which means you can also get the specific vitamins and minerals that are in all fruits and vegetables straight into the bloodstream. And it's really easy for the body, particularly if you are infirm, if you're not very well. It's a brilliant source of getting nourishment into you. So if you know that you're short in some aspects of your diet, you need more beta carotene, then you can do some carrot juice. If you know you're short of potassium, you can do any of the green juices. If you know you're short of vitamin C, then you can do things like blackberries and some of the currants, and there's lots of citrus fruit and kiwis that are filled with vitamin C. I mean, there's books have been written on this. It's really, really easy. One of the things to bear in mind, we all cook, and it's part of our life. It has been for centuries. But when you cook food, you actually, in some degree, you spoil the nutrients. You damage or destroy the very, very delicate micronutrients that your body needs. So by juicing, you are having the opportunity of having all the nutrients straight into your system. The other thing to remember, it's my passion to tell people, if you have a microwave, give it to your worstest enemy. There is no food that is worth eating once it comes out of a microwave. The food becomes carcinogenic. It has no nutrients in it at all. And why would you bother to ruin such wonderful food? Use an oven if you must cook, steam, anything like that. But juicing preserves all of those fantastic micronutrients. So that's why we juice. Now, what else can I tell you about it? Juicing is also very good for people who want to lose weight. It starts the process of detoxing, and when you start to detox, you start to release fat cells. And it's very, very easy, it's very gentle, and it's a good way to replace meals. You're getting lots and lots of the nutrients you need. You shouldn't feel hungry afterwards. One of the ways to avoid that is making sure that you put oil in your juices. Coconut fat isn't brilliant. Ghee, sesame oil, olive oil. The more oils you put in, the more it feeds your brain, the less hunger cravings you're going to have. So there's a little tip for you so that you don't end up feeling hungry. You should never feel hungry. One of the things that you will also notice when you start juicing is that things happen in your body. You're going to enjoy the benefits of having clearer skin. You're going to enjoy the benefits of having more energy, less brain fog. And who wouldn't want all of those sorts of things? The other thing you may end up having is slightly drippy noses. You may, because you're detoxing if you're not used to it, you may end up having a mild headache. This lasts only a couple of days generally. It's a fantastic sign that it's doing wonderful work. Lots and lots of water will generally make this move through the system fairly quickly. Another aspect of juicing that most people don't consider is enzymes. Enzymes are so incredibly important for the body. They are protein catalysts that control the speed of chemical reactions in the body, and without enzymes we basically wouldn't survive. They are important for so many things in the body, and fruits and vegetables are a really rich source of live enzymes, and it means that it's live straight into the body. Things can start to happen in a really good way, and that is why it's really important when you make a juice that you drink it almost immediately. You can put it in a sealed container, you can put it in the fridge for a while if you're short of time, but a juice is literally best made and immediately drunk, and then all the live elements of it remain intact and you get to enjoy the benefits in your body. Another thing you need to be aware of when you make juice is the source of your ingredients. Are they pesticide free? Are they organic? Or if they're not organic, at least know the source, know who's grown them, know they haven't been covered in pesticides and weed killers and all sorts of other nasty things, because you really don't need that into your system. There are a handful of vegetables that you'll find that predominantly are known for being heavily pesticided so that they can be commercially grown and sold through our large chains of supermarkets. And I'm going to list the top 6. If you grow these at home, if you know where you can get them without all of this, there's lots of alternative choices, but just know that these are potentially some of the dirtiest. Celery, spinach, kale, lettuce, carrots, and cucumber. Cucumber you can get away with a little bit if you take the skin off it, if you don't know the source of it, but just know what's going on there. If you've never juiced before, it's a really good idea to juice something that you really enjoy. There's no point going hardcore and juicing all the heavy greens, which are amazingly good for you, if you're just going to go, this is too much, I can't even get it down my throat. So juice things that are fun, juice things with a lot of fruit in it, juice things that are colourful, juice things that are simple, but enjoy it. And particularly if you've got children, make sure they enjoy it too, because what's the point otherwise? And you want them to enjoy this, and they love shoving fruit and vegetables down the chute and seeing it whizzing round, and the more you can involve them, the more you're going to create a really good habit for the future. One thing to bear in mind, if you're not well and you juice a lot of fruit, whilst it is delicious and on many levels it's very nutritious, if you are very viral, bacterial, fungal, then the natural sugars in the fruit are going to feed those elements that you don't want. So just be careful of your sugar content, because it's not such a good idea for everybody. I thought I would give you a list of what I generally put into my juices on a regular basis. I will probably have most of these ingredients that I'm going to read out to you on a juice that I do, and they're pretty much the basics. So if you've got a number of these things in, you're doing really, really well. This is somewhat hardcore for some people, but the benefits are just extraordinary. So I try to have fresh ingredients that I know the source of with all of these things. They're not powdered, these are the fresh stuff. So ginger, celery, fresh turmeric, kale, watercress, amazing for minerals, parsley, amazing for minerals, spinach, a handful of berries, quite often it's fruits of the forest, asparagus, fennel, and on cold days we chuck a couple of chilies in, and some fresh garlic. So keeps the devil away and keeps us warm on these very wet, windy, horrible evenings that we seem to have at the moment. The other thing, juices are great if you want to add other things into it. So you've made your juice and you've got some maca, or you've got some spirulina, or you've got some chlorella that your practitioner has told you to take, pop it in your juice. I've mentioned earlier, oils are really important in your diet too. You can put them in your juices. Again, it's your brain's preferred source of energy. So when you put a little bit of oil in your juice, you're not going to have the sugar highs. Your brain is going to be fed on the fat, and you are going to assimilate it better, and you are not going to continue to be hungry for long periods of time. If you want some bedtime reading, there is a wonderful chap called Heinemann and he's created something called the Encyclopedia for Healing Juices. It's got everything you could possibly think of as to why you should drink juice and what the various juices do for various ailments. It's not always easy to get hold of, but it's an extremely good read. And the last thing, if you're going to juice, you need a juicer. It doesn't matter what juicer you have, as long as you have a juicer. The better juicers are things that have 2 grinders that pulverize the fruits or vegetables. The centrifugal ones are very noisy, they tend to break down a lot, they're not as good, but at the end of the day I would far rather you juiced with something than you didn't juice at all. But at the end of the day, it's got to be fun, you've got to enjoy it. It's a habit, it's a lifestyle habit, it'll keep you looking young, it'll keep you energized, it'll keep that brain working. So there's everything to gain and very little to lose. One last comment, I don't recommend NutriBullets. You're literally mixing water with whole vegetables and then drinking the whole thing. Whilst it's great, you're not getting the huge amount of nutrients you would be if you just used the pure juice with a little bit of fibre, because you're not, again, there's not so much in there. But that is better, again, than not doing anything at all. So you need that fibre, you need that juice, and your life will be enriched on many levels. I hope that's been helpful to you. There is always a solution to all sorts of problems that you may not have found yet. If I can be of any assistance to you in finding solutions to any health problems you have, I would be delighted to help you. You will find me on liliasarmira.com. That is Lilias, AHM for mother, EIRA.com. I will look forward to speaking to you again in a couple of evenings' time, and have an awesome evening. Wrap up because it's horrible out there tonight, and have a wonderful evening. Many thanks indeed. Good night.